Welcome back, guys. I just want to get a video out today. I know I put the Hunter little montage clip out yesterday. I just unlocked this jet over the weekend and wanted to do a commentary on it. And I had a match here on Hokkaido and just wanted to kind of talk about my experience in it. I've never uploaded too many jet gameplays. Just it's a learning experience. Coming from props, I'm playing props. Oh God, for you, last couple of years. I mean, that's the tech tree. That's what it is mainly. It's a new learning experience. It really is. It's a whole different set of rules. It's a whole different way to fly, and it takes some time. But I think I've gained some experience from flying the 262 out in Germany. Just messing with it. I have an okay record with it. But it's taught me a few things, and then of course there's some great YouTubers out there that you can watch, and I kind of watch their flight patterns and what they do and how they fly. But so far my record in this is pretty good. I'm actually positive. I think I'm setting somewhere around 40 something kills and 28 deaths, I think, and those are for me learning how to take down the TU4s, as you saw in the video yesterday. I'm learning how to do that, and the most effective strategy I found, of course, is from the top down. Now this match here, I have actually almost spaded this jet. I have to admit I did buy some upgrades, but if you're taking this thing out stock, you're going to be fine. The first time I took this out, I got 2 kills in the very first game. The stock ammo belts are unbelievable good. I mean, these cannons are just amazing. They do take some learning to lead, though. Very fast fire rate, but they drop off almost like a brick, kind of like the 262 does in a way. You have to think about leading them a little bit more than you normally would. Plus, things in jets are going by so fast. Things happen so quick, and I was missing a lot of my opportunities for kills just for that reason, learning to lead based on their speed and what they do. But once you get it down, good God, these things just annihilate enemy planes. Every once in a while I'll spark on a jet, if I only land maybe one of the 30s on them, but they're amazing. And one of the main upgrades that I really recommend, and it's a double-edged sword, is kind of the new boosters on this thing. They will help you get on target a little bit better. Your engine performance, of course, is always nice to have, but you know what? Stock, I was still in level flight doing over 1,000 kilometers, an hour. Here comes my first little kill. I'm learning to get better at these head-ons. Just a little spray and then a dodge, and there we go. Nice little quick kill. You always want to, start the dodge a little early, and you saw there I was engaging a little earlier out. But 50 rounds. It's a quick little burst, and that's all it takes. This thing comes with 600 rounds, and you can really go on a nice run just with those rounds. Don't quite lead this here. Thought I had him, but I don't know. Just must have shot under him and over him. But going back to the new boosters, what they help you do is to be able to lift your nose up to get your nose up on target. You do have to be careful with those installed, because if you start pulling harder G's anywhere past the 12 range in any extended period of time, you are going to rip. You will, and I have done it in this thing, just testing the limits of it. The other thing that I've learned to do is, this is not, you can boom and zoom in this, but I like to zoom and zoom, and I don't know if I'm making that up or if someone else has already stated that, but I try to maintain a speed of at least 850, 900 kilometers an hour at all times when I'm engaging like this. So you'll notice I made a pass out. I know my 6 was clear. Coming back in, I've got someone I think behind me. I do a little just dodging. I know I'm faster than anything else out there right now. You have to kind of watch if you're fighting a CL-13 or a MiG-17. You still can outrun them. You just have to make sure to maintain your speed at all times, and that's one of the most key things in jets, is you've got to keep your speed up. I'm not a turn fighter, but holy crap, if I get on your 6 and these things connect, you're done for. So I feel clear here. I know I've got the speed on this guy. I'm going to try to go up in a climb with him, and this thing can climb. I'm telling you, it can climb, especially when you're up to speed. seems to be that once you're up past 850 kilometers an hour, this thing will just soar up into the clouds. Especially put it at a 10-15 degree, and you'll be up at 6,000-7,000 meters and only be at 800 kilometers an hour. You're only going to lose maybe 200. So made a little pass on him, missed. You're going to notice that when I shot there that my reticle and my guns kind of dip down. They will when you fire it. It just from the back pressure of the guns when you fire them off. So I'm just going to dive down here and try to slot on these 6. But this jet, I think what makes it amazing, and there's 2 things. One, its speed, and even stock you can still go extremely fast. And second is its guns. Even with the air target rounds, you can kill light pillboxes and medium tanks. Of course, saying that, I hope people don't go out and use this as a ground striker, but sometimes you're flying by and the guy's on his airfield camping it, and you're like, you know what, I got plenty of ammo, just put a small little burst into a medium tank and you'll take it out. And it's amazing that these guns are able to do that, even with the air target rounds on them. They're just very, very, very powerful. I would love to see a prop with these guns on it. That would be a little crazy. This guy here is dead, but he's trying to make it back. Poor little guy. But going back to the Hunter, so one of your roles that you can play, and you notice in the last video I did, was attacking the TU4s, the cancer of the game, and I know many people have commented on those things. They're ridiculous. They really are. I have been killed by them just learning how to take them down. I find the most, well, I got an F2H here coming in nice and low. It's going to lead him a little bit. Quick little burst. Nothing left of him. Just nice and easy on that. But, ooh, almost got in the water there. But the one technique that I've learned on the TU4s is when I'm on Korea or some of those matches where I know there's going to be at least 1-2 different TU4s. Don't want to take the head on. A little too close there where I lifted up. I generally like to side climb. I'll get out in somewhat of a level flight until I hit about in the 900s to 1,000 kilometers an hour. Just put it into 15. I mean, honestly, put it into 15 and you'll be up in no time. You really will. Even stock, this thing will climb. And then attack from the top. Go at them from the top. Very high speed, make a quick burst, go for their wings. That's the most important thing. You'll remember from the last video that all I had to do was crit that one right wing on that TU4 and he ends up going down. They're easy to kill in that regards. Very, very deadly with their guns. Extremely deadly. And that's where most of my deaths have come from. I have only died, I think, once in a failed head-on. That was with a F80, the F2 Sabre. You know what I mean? Made a fantastic shot on me. But this thing's a head-on monster. It really is. But I find that most of my kills, and the 40-plus kills that I've gotten, have been like this. Coming in on someone's 6, using the meteors that I'm with to get them turning, and you just come in and clean them up. And I'm just getting out of here because I didn't have a shot on that guy. When you're going this fast, it's difficult sometimes to get your nose up on target. That's where the new boosters come in. They help out, with that. But you see me here do just a quick little zoom climb. I mean, just watch my altitude here. So I'm starting off, at 300, 400 meters, and I'm just putting it at a 15. And if you get someone on your 6 and you can get them to match your speed, now I'm going to actually increase the zoom because I know he's not coming there. And I'm actually going to go ahead and do a full emblem over and come back down on top of him. But if you get someone on your 6, let's say that you get a MiG or a Sabre on your 6 or even a SEAL-13, get them to match your speed. Once you get them to match your speed, take the plane and put it in maybe an 8 to 10 degree climb, somewhere in the vicinity. They're not going to keep up with you. They really won't. Thought about going in for him, but just don't want to get near that AAA. Sometimes you can make a high speed pass on guys on the ground. I don't like doing it. AAA is just deadly. So I'm going to go back over here and help our other 200s out and see if I can't get this kill, because I know they're over here dogfighting him, and see if I can't get this kill. But that's the power of this jet, is just it's not booming and zooming. You're seeing here I'm maintaining a high speed at all times, making these wide sweeping turns and coming back into the action. And that is where I'm finding I'm doing successful on making these kills. It's a different game, you know. Just are. Sometimes I drop my throttle to 94, 96% to keep that engine nice and cool. It'll cool it down right away. Just going to lead this guy, lift the nose up, and guess about right there. Quick little burst, took his wing clean off. Easy kill. You know? And that's the last kill of the match. I'm going to head back to the base and try to get some more ammo. Down to 162 rounds. So one of our guy was crit. He's out on his tail, but he's still up and flying. So I'm heading back to base. Going to try to get some more ammo and see if we can't deal with these last jets that are up. But I tell people that, look, looks like there's one. If you're going to unlock a jet, start with the small tier ones and learn how to fly them. Whether it's Germany's 262, whether it's the F-80, the P-80, start off by learning the basics of a jet. And that is, in my opinion, okay, I'm not the best at these, in my opinion, in my trials and errors, let's talk about errors, is you have to learn to fly it differently than you do a prop. If you're used to a prop, props have a couple different categories they fall in. You're either a turn fighter, or you're a energy fighter, or you're a boom and zoomer. And some of them play kind of a mixed role. They fall in between that, but that's really what you are. When you get to jets, those theories kind of come into play, and then they don't, to a degree, from my understanding of this. You've got certain jets that can turn. You know, you've got your meteors, and you've got, you know, some of the sabers and stuff that can. But for the majority of the part, you shouldn't be turning in most of the jets. You're either going to be doing somewhat of a boom and zoom, or, as I like to call it, the fly out and zoom and zoom, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? But it's so important in jets to maintain that speed, because you can have a guy above you, or a girl, I'm sure there's probably some ladies that play this, but you can have a plane above you and be diving on you, and as long as you're maintaining that speed, you can either outrun him, or you can air brake and do some, you know, turning, rolling maneuvers to get them to overshoot, and you'll get some kills that way. But it's different. Jets are just different, and there is a massive learning curve when you jump into a jet. And probably one of my biggest mistakes was power grinding through the tech trees, and like, I've had my MiG-15 unlocked for over a year. I suck at the MiG-15 BIS for Germany. I don't know how to fly it, and that was my issue for a long time. I did not understand the principles of how to fly a jet, and I was out there just turning up and turning a little bit and trying to boom and zoom and trying different things, and I'm like, I don't understand this. And part of the problem is how do you lead properly? You know, in jet gameplay, it's a different ball game, because things are happening so much faster. They're fast, you're fast, and then you got to take into account the speed of which your guns fire, and there's a lot of variables there that play into it. So my advice would be to, when you get a jet and you unlock it, and you may be grinding through the trees, you may get a premium or a talisman, and you're unlocking a bunch of planes, and you're like, oh, I'm just going to keep grinding. I enjoy the grind. I know other people do. When I play other games, I enjoy the grind. I played World of Warcraft for years, and part of the fun of it for me was just leveling characters. I enjoy the grind. I know that sounds weird, but I do. So when you're grinding through these jets, though, I recommend either watching somebody that knows what they're doing, or taking some advice on, because you see the other YouTubers, and they'll just put up a video and talk about this or that and rant about this or that, and they don't really offer any tips. So I'm trying to give you guys some tips from somebody that's not very good, but I'm finding some things that are making me successful. So like I said, I'm finding things that are making me successful, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot from just flying the 262 and learning how to fight early jets and learning how to fight against props and learning how to lead the guns. And you know, the one thing the 262 taught me, because the guns are so slow, is that I wait until I am right up on them before I even start firing. You know, I watch the flight patterns, I'm watching where they're going, I'm trying to predict it and move my guns into a position where they're going to fly through the rounds. And that's the way you do it with the 262, because the 262's guns are so slow on those 30 mils. They're devastating, but they're so slow on the muzzle velocity that you have to really lead with them. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to take these same principles with jets, and I'm going to make sweeping quick passes and then burst at them when I'm like 0.4, 0.5 or less. You know, sometimes in props you can start firing earlier out and you get a lot more time on target. And that's why a lot of people have a hard time with, you know, taking the early jets out, like you know, some of the F-80s, 86s, because the 50 cals, you know what I mean? You need more time on target sometimes with those to do a lot of damage. They're good. Look at this. This guy's coming on to me. This is what I'm talking about right here. I'm just going to put this sucker at about a 10-degree climb. He's not going to catch me. Instead, he goes for a climb as well. But I matched his speed. He's not going to catch me. And I'm going to literally zoom climb like a monster here. But going back to the 50 cals, they're extremely good. 50 cals really are good, but they require a little bit more time on target. That's the one thing about the Hunter. They don't require hardly any time on target. You get someone in your gun sights and you make the burst, they're going to die. I mean, 97, 98% of the time, they're going to die. And you have those times when you may spark or you may crit something, but I'm going to tell you this much. You crit something in jet gameplay, the plane's done for. It really is. There's hardly no going back to base. I don't recommend doing this a lot either. Don't implement this thing. You lose so much speed. The only reason I'm doing it is this is the last guy. But I mean, look at that. Quick little zoom, and look at my altitude. It's ridiculous. But it's just a learning experience in jets. And what I recommend is getting a jet, going out and practicing. I honestly recommend getting something that will kill and kill quick. I know people love the American jets. It requires a little bit more time on target with them, though. Get something like the F2H Banshee. I mean, that's got, you know, some awesome Hispanos. Start off learning the meteors. Learn something that's going to make some quick work of the enemy. But guys, if you get this jet, don't worry about your stock syndrome. It is a beautiful jet, even stock. It is worth putting a little bit of money into it, though, if you like this. I thought I got him right here, but just shot over him. And he ended up ripping as well. But, you know, put some money in it. It's worth it. I did it because I felt it was worth it. I wanted to see what this thing could do, fully upgraded, and it's been worth it, man. I love it. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank all the new guys that have joined in the last couple months. I know I haven't put anything out. I've just been really focusing on the grind on my tanks. But thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support, and I hope this video was somewhat educational. And I'm just going to say I really, really love the Hunter.